And we're live on match day as Doug reaches for a buffalo wing. He's got it! Oh, and he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! What a finish! There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi.
We got Peter King, former Congressman Peter King, on the line.
Peter's the perfect guy to come on now.
Peter, listen, George Venizelos' point is very well taken. We want to see justice done, but, I mean, come on. You don't want to... I wish we didn't have the corruption in the first place. Am I being a Pollyanna?
You're being naive.
And the real way you are, the fact is there's always going to be corruption, and the idea is you need efficient people to watch it. As far as Frank Carone, I know him slightly. You hate to see some guy get in trouble, but if he deserves it, he deserves it. And it's too early to judge. But the U.S. attorney in that district is very professional, very top shelf. So let's wait and see how it goes. If it is corruption, then obviously it has to be punished, has to be gone after. Otherwise, the whole system corrodes, and the good people in it get brought down, along with the others. So it's important to clean up the system. I don't want to prejudge Frank Carone, but right now it's going to be a tough fight ahead for him.
Yeah, Frank Carone's an attorney. Attorneys should know better. Mm-hmm. This is what they defend or what they prosecute. This is their life. They know the consequences.
There's a lot of dirty attorneys.
If he did violate the law, that's one thing. We have to wait and see whether he did or not. There's usually a presumption of innocence. There's also a real-life presumption that the FBI and the U.S. Attorney and the Justice Department have put all that effort into it. They must believe that he is guilty. On the other hand, as we saw with President Trump, you can also target someone for political reasons. I'm not saying that's the case with Frank Carone at all, because I do know that Jonas Seller in the Eastern District is an outstanding U.S. Attorney, and George can talk to the validity of the FBI in New York. Whatever criticisms were being made of the FBI in Washington under the Biden administration, that really never, ever applied to New York, especially when George was there.
George, you were FBI 25, 26 years, 4 years in charge of New York. What is the batting average of the FBI in New York when they decide to make an arrest?
Very high. The federal charges...
In other words, they don't make an arrest unless
they don't make arrests, especially in the corruption arena, because you have to make sure that it's a slam dunk case, because you don't want to indict a high political figure and then have them go free, because then that's a stain. And there's a lot of protocols that go on when you investigate political figures. So any political figure that's indicted, I could tell you it's probably 99% conviction rate.
I wish Frank Carone the very best. Congressman Peter King, how are you? What an honor to have you here.
Oh, it's my pleasure being with you guys, believe me. So
we've taken over Sid's show this whole week, and Jake Novak is really doing a great job. We have George Weinberg, and of course the owner of our boss here, John Katzimatidis. And we are enjoying it this
double
week.
Shift.
You're working triple shift.
That's right.
You're up at 3 a.m.
You need a pay raise. But Congressman King, we feel like we're in occupied territory this morning. These results of these primaries last night, these socialist, communist, anti-Semites winning, all of Mayor Mamdani's endorsed candidates in these congressional elections, including this Dariliza Avia Chevalier defeating Adriano Espaillat, Clara Valdez winning in Brooklyn over Reynoso, and Brad Lander winning over Dan Goldman. Look, to me, this is really bad news for New York, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. These people are not going to bring prosperity or safety to the streets of New York or to the businesses of New York. It's an incredibly low amount of people voting. This Dariliza Avia Chevalier, only 32,700 people voted for her in the entire primary last night. Now she's going to be a congresswoman. This has got to make you feel as worried as we are.
It does, and it's really terrible news, not just for Democrats and Republicans, but really all the people of New York. Listen, I'm old enough to remember, and I'm sure George does, and John also. Years ago, Jesse Jackson got slaughtered in an election in New York because years before, this is a Democratic primary, years before he had made some remark that was considered vaguely anti-Semitic.
He called New York, Peter, he called New York Jaime Town.
It wasn't vaguely anti-Semitic.
It was totally anti-Semitic. He called it Jaime Town, Peter.
Unbelievable.
Instead of calling everything anti-Semitic, can't we just call anti-hate?
No.
I mean, I don't understand this.
No, you're absolutely wrong on that. Because the hate in this country, the hate in this country today is anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Irish. It's not anti-Greek. It's not anti-Italian. The war is against the Jewish community and the state of Israel. So it's calling it hate is watering it down against the true threat to what's going on.
It's not anti-Dominican either.
No?
No, not anti-Dominican.
How about anti-Greek?
Listen, these people are all haters. It's all about
Peter, some of your best friends are Jewish. Are we all monsters?
No, the point I was trying to make is that in comparison to what has been said today, Jesse Jackson's remark was vaguely anti-Semitic and it was from the distant past. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Today, that's overt anti-Semitism. It's anti-Israel, anti-Jewish. What happened to Dan Goldman, and I have no love for Dan Goldman, that would have been unheard of years ago. That would have ended the campaign right then and there. Instead, it meant almost nothing. In fact, maybe it even boosted support for his opponent, for Lander in that race. That's the point I was making, is that one comment or one time can bring down your career. Now you can make 10 comments a day that are hateful, anti-Semitic. And, John, I agree with Judge Weinberg. Right now, the targets are the Jews. That's the reality. And my point is, I'm very concerned for the Jews, but I also know when you look at history, it's the Jews first and the rest of us after that. So the fact is, all of us are in danger. We have to realize that and not say, well, it's only the Jews, it's only this. If they're coming after the Jews, they're coming after all of us. And we have a special obligation, obviously, to the Jewish community because of World War II and historic anti-Semitism. But just from a selfish point of view, all of us are the targets, and that's the reality.
Peter King, by the way, we have Rabbi Chaim Steinmetz who's going to join us in a few minutes. He's a rabbi of a big congregation here in Manhattan to talk about all of this. But moving on from just that issue, taking it from that issue, these candidates talk a lot about Israel and the Jews. How is that? What does that have to do with the price of eggs in Harlem or the Bronx, where this Chevalier is going to be the congresswoman now? I mean, to me, we've known for years that the Arab countries surrounding Israel have used anti-Semitism and anti-Israel rhetoric to get themselves off the hook for their terrible governments, for the fact that there's so much poverty, for the fact that a country like Egypt has, I think, like 60% illiteracy. But to see it come here to New York, I mean, this is like watching The Lord of the Rings. And the orcs have come. I mean, this is like 7th century barbarism has come to Harlem and come to the Bronx and Brooklyn. This is absolutely terrifying.
It really is. And again, it goes beyond the issue of Israel in the Middle East. The anti-Israel, anti-quote-unquote Zionism, anti-Semitism is really a metaphor for coming against American society. And that's why it's so important that we stand firm on this. And again, all sorts of hatred, obviously wrong. Also, I think it's important for Republicans to get our act together. And I don't want to sound critical of President Trump, but we shouldn't be talking about the reflecting pool and painting the White House gold and everything else. We should be get a few key issues, focus on them, and whatever happens in Iran with negotiations, we should never be turning against Netanyahu or making remarks against him, which could be interpreted as being anti-Israel. You stand with your allies, and if you are going to have differences, you do it behind the scenes. You don't question that, their motives or their loyalty.
Congressman King, we had a situation yesterday in a coffee shop. By the way, this is Fernando Mateo, Congressman. Pleasure to be
I
here.
I recognize you anywhere.
Okay, great. Dan Goldman was denied service in a coffee shop. He's a congressman of this country. He was denied service because he was pro-Israel.
Sort of.
Right? Sort of pro-Israel.
He's not really that pro-Israel, but all right.
So, what's your take on this situation?
That to me was indefensible. And that's the point I was alluding to before, is that should have ended the campaign right then and there. There should have been a massive outpouring of opposition to Brad Lander for that because he did not denounce it, and there should have been peaceful demonstrations against it. Instead, it was just sort of glossed over.
There's a protest today.
One second. We have Sid Rosenberg, our guy we're filling in for, on the phone right now.
Peter King can stay on the line.
Yeah, Peter, don't hang up, Peter.
Don't hang up, Peter. Stay on the line.
But we got Sid Rosenberg.
He'll drive me crazy.
Yeah, no,
oh boy.
Sid,
get ready, Peter.
Sid, you should have been here. I mean, when that story broke, you got a chance now to blast about this. Go ahead, Sid.
Well, I'm speaking to you right now. I'm about 100 yards away from the Kotel, which is also known as the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall here in Israel, on another beautiful, sunny, gorgeous Israel day. Look, that's a tough race for me. That race for me is like asking, hey, Sid, would you rather have AIDS or herpes?
My God.
I'm being serious. Dan Goldman is horrible. He's not really pro-Israel. He's not as bad as Bernie Sanders or Chuck Schumer, but he's hardly one of our strong Jews.
Right.
And Brad Lander is a Palestinian. He's Chuck Schumer. He's a joke. Any decent Jew, you don't have Shabbat dinners on Friday night with Palestinians. So I don't like Goldman. I like Lander even less. I guess somebody had to win, given the choice. Would have preferred Goldman, but either way, that Congress race is bad for New York and bad for America.
Sid, there is going to be a protest today. I want to give everyone the details. 561 Lorimer Street in Brooklyn against this coffee shop, the Poetica Coffee Shop. So we're hoping for, I'd like to see a nice turnout there. But, Fernando and I were talking about yesterday, the Jewish community of Williamsburg should have been surrounding that coffee shop yesterday when this story broke.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the problem is we don't do that, and we should, and that's part of the problem with American Jewry is that unlike here in Israel, where they will shoot you, okay? Bottom line, we'll shoot you. In New York, they're very timid, and that's part of the reason why Jewish people get their asses kicked all over the streets of New York City. We just don't do that. They do that. So they can have a nice turnout outside the coffee shop. It's not going to mean anything. It's not like it's going to stop there or anyplace else. You've got the mayor, this disgusting mayor, his disgusting, vile, wretched wife who goes to a coffee shop in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and sits there and makes faces at the former Miss Israel, Melanie Sarabi, who was with you the last couple of days. So it doesn't really matter. They could have 100 people, 1,000 people. The bigger problem is we are being taken over, New York City, by Jew-hating, cop-hating, America-hating, DSA anti-Semites. If yesterday, for you folks in New York, doesn't wake you up, doesn't prove to you how scary the situation is. I've been talking about this, guys, for days. Thousands of people I spoke in front of the last couple of days with Bibi Netanyahu, with Mike Huckabee, with President Herzog. And I told them the truth about America. The truth about America is it's becoming a very scary place, and no scarier place than New York City. This mayor is the most dangerous politician and has more power and more sway than maybe anybody outside of President Trump in our country. If you're not scared to be in New York now, you're half asleep.
Sid is on the line with us. Sid Rosenberg is on the line. So is former Congressman Peter King. And I want to ask both of you this question because I think that, Sid just touched on this. To me, this is the original sin or major sin of the Jewish community in the United States. If the Jews are going to continue to thrive in this country, they need to be able to say the following. If you come into our communities to attack us and hurt us, we'll kill you first. Have a nice day. And Peter King and Sid Rosenberg, I can't think of one Jewish community right now that can say that. Right, Sid?
I can't either. Look, we've got huge communities. I flew here on El Al, which is a great airline. Maybe they'll be the official airline of Sid and Friends in the morning. I don't know. We're working on it. But, all of Lakewood, New Jersey was on my flight, and that whole community is basically Hasidic. You've got, obviously, Borough Park, which Peter knows, in Brooklyn. You've got these huge pockets. But the truth is, again, the Jewish people in the United States are not the same as the Jews here. And they don't do stuff like that. They take the yarmulke off. They hide their Magen David. I tell parents all the time, the worst thing you can do is hide the fact that you're Jewish. They would almost rather you do that, people like Meir Mamdani and the terrorists, than find a dead body in the street of Tel Aviv. I swear to God. So if you hide the fact you're Jewish, you're playing right into the hands of the quote-unquote terrorists. And that's what New York Jews do. It's really sad to watch. Right, Peter?
No, you're right. It really is. Now, listen, we're not talking about shooting people in the streets, but Jews and everyone should be standing with the Jews. Like I said before you come on, I was saying going after the Jews is almost a metaphor for going after America. It's always the Jews first and everybody else right after that. So if we don't stand united on this, not just as a Jewish issue, but as a human issue, all of us are going to suffer in the end. And what's happening here is almost unbelievable. If you had told any of us 5 years ago this was going to happen, that you would have this extent of anti-Semitism, anti-Americanism, anti-police attitude in the city of New York, anti-military, you go across the board, anti-ICE, you add it all together. This is an attack on American society. It's an assault on all of us, and we have to get together. I think President Trump has to organize this better. Our local Republican Party has to get organized better. For instance, here in New York, we have, and I'm not saying this politically, we have to elect someone like Bruce Blakeman. And we can't be saying you should be doing this, we should be doing that, or we should have had this candidate. We have a great candidate. Let's get behind him. The fact that he's Jewish adds to that, because that would even make the victory more resounding in this age of anti-Semitism.
Sid and Peter, speaking of Bruce Blakeman, have you seen Bruce Blakeman's new AI-generated ads online? They're very much like the Spencer Pratt ads, where he's on a subway with Kathy Hochul. With a caricature of Kathy Hochul. I don't know if either of you have seen this, but to me, this is kicking up. What do you think about it, Sid?
I like it, Jake. There's also a caricature of Mamdani, and they're both eating on the train.
Yes.
Like monsters. They look like monsters, and they are monsters. Let's be honest. Kathy Hochul is not a good person. I don't think she's a good person. She's not. She's allowing the people in her state to basically fall apart here. And the mayor is just an outright terrible person. And I did hear from Bruce Blakeman a couple of times. As Peter pointed out, he's a proud Jew. He is a fighter. He showed up with me at Columbia University. We were the very first people to get there. There was no Eric Adams. Sorry, folks, no Eric Adams. A couple of days after us, Mike Johnson and Nicole Mariotaka showed up. But I was the first one there with Michael Rappaport, Anthony D'Esposito, Mike Lawler, and the aforementioned Bruce Blakeman. He's a wonderful guy. And Peter is right. We got to win that race. And honestly, I said this to Ed Koch just last week. I think the mayor feels like he's already won his second term. He's already out there campaigning for his second term. He's not even 6 months into his first term. So the Republican Party in New York has to find some very serious mayoral candidates too, or the mayor is going to walk right back into office, and we'll be stuck with Kathy Hochul again, which I don't think she'll win. I think Bruce will win, but if she does, another 4 years of Mamdani, that makes 7 more years of this. The city will be gone. It will be gone.
Sid, this is Fernando Mateo. First of all, congratulations on your award. I don't know if you heard our breaking news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we're very proud of you, and we're very happy that you are taking a break, because it gives us an opportunity to sit in your studio while you're away and fill in your shoes.
Fernando's enjoying this, Sid.
I'm enjoying it, Sid. I've always wanted to be on your show.
Sid, you better come back soon.
Sid, don't come back, please.
Soon.
Sid, take another week.
We're going to need a crowbar to get him out of this chair.
He wants to know why he didn't get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, why didn't I get in the Hall of Fame? But
it's a matter of time, Fernando.
You've only been a broadcaster for 5 minutes.
Maybe get Rookie of the Year.
But I'm on WABC. That's what's important, guys.
That's what makes heroes. And wait till you hear the announcement who's starting this week.
Really? Listen, you can't duplicate me.
It's a super announcement.
Oh boy!
It's a super announcement, and wait till you hear it.
John,
right, last word to you, Sid.
Yeah, we'll say this, John, and this is a testament to you, and it's not you need to hear it from me, but I'm here in Israel. I'm 7,000 miles away, and you would be, maybe you wouldn't be actually, John, but you wouldn't be shocked, but you'd be happy to hear how many people here in Jerusalem listen to us on WABC. I mean, I got to tell you guys, it's surreal for me, but I get stopped in the street multiple times a day. I mean, multiple times a day, and I got to ask them, how do you know who I am? And they go, what do you mean? WABC, we listen every day. So even here in the Middle East, this little country.
Here in Miami, too.
Yeah, well, Miami, too. They love us in Miami. That's right, John. Yes.
Sid, while you're there, please tell them to hear Fernando Mateo, No Excuses, Sundays between 6 and 7. Please make some palm cards.
Yeah, and
Sid, you think this is all a joke, but I'm not happy when I go to see Medina. People start talking to me about you. I don't care about Sid Rosenberg. What you talk about me is how Sid doing. And the only question I have is Sid really crazy or what? Yeah, he is. Believe me, he is. No, they love you.
Sid, anyway.
No matter what I say, they still love you, so I don't know.
Sid, we got to take a break, but thank you so much for calling in from Israel. We do want you to come back, all kidding aside, and thank you for letting us take these chairs these last few days.
Don't forget
you guys are doing
me,
a great
Sid.
job, all of you guys. I won't forget you, Fernando, and Jake, you're doing a great job.
I hope the FBI doesn't forget him.
Thank you for the Hall of Fame mention, too. I appreciate that. I've worked a lot of years and went through a lot of trials and tribulations, most of which were my fault. I'm accountable for it, but to be recognized as one of the all-time greats in our industry is pretty surreal. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
You got to get Lou in the Hall of Fame next.
Yeah, Lou's next.
Lou's got to be there.
Come on, he's a legend.
Mine, of course. I agree with you, George. I agree. Lou Rapino, certain Hall of Famer, one of the greats.
We're all standing on his shoulders.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?